Good morning and welcome to BMFA Buckminster, where we are doing some trial live streaming this weekend, which we have the BMFA Scale team trials for the upcoming World Championships. This morning I'm joined by Graham Kennedy here on my right, who is our coordinator for the Scale Championships taking place later this year. So welcome, Graham. So I've got a few questions for you, which hopefully our viewers will be interested in. So can we start with your journey into scale area modelling and what attracted you to scale area modelling?
Yeah, of course. First of all, good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, or if you're catching up later on. So yeah, it's all down to my dad, really. Dad started area modelling when I was just 2, so one of my earliest memories is from a Scottish Championships when he was buying engine and bits and pieces for his first scale model, and then through that, because he was competing and travelling around, I used to enjoy going with him, and then as I got a little bit older I got involved in the organising side of things, and it's rather snowballed from there.
You could say that, couldn't you? I remember your dad's scale Tiger Moth flying. It was in Swedish colours, wasn't it? It was a stunning aeroplane, yeah.
That was his probably best, well, his most well-known one. He competed with that first of all at the Euro Champs in 2003, and then when F4H was introduced, he won in 2009 in Norway, and then 2010 in Poland. Excellent.
So can I take it then that there's a strong tradition of aero modelling in the UK, of scale aero modelling?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the very first FAI World Championships were held in 1970 at Cranfield. We then held it again in 1978 at Woodvale when I was just 1. So can't quite remember either of those. But the UK team has always been really strong. They've always been at the forefront of the rules creation and development, and then also a strong judging team as well.
Excellent. So when are the World Championships taking place then this year?
So they're in July of this year. The actual competition itself runs from Friday the 10th of July through to Saturday the 18th. The actual makeup of exactly who's flying when isn't something that we'll know until the final entries are made, and then there'll be an update on roughly who's flying each day. Obviously with dropouts, weather, you can't say exactly.
Yep.
But the first few days there's the static element, so when the aircraft are judged for their accuracy versus the reals. One that starts on the Friday will run through to approximately Monday, Tuesday, and then the flying throughout all 8 days.
Excellent. That's really something to look forward to. I mean, obviously the planning is well underway. Can you explain a little about the process that has led to the championships being held here at BMFA Buckminster?
Yeah, of course. It's already said that the UK's got a very strong tradition in scale, and for as long as I've been attending international champs since 2001, I've always been asked, when is the UK next going to hold the champs? The difficulty is the actual lead time and the planning is so far ahead with when you've got to put in the bid to SIAM, which is the International Aero Modelling Federation as part of the FAI. When you've got to put that in, you really need to start planning with an airfield sort of 3 to 5 years in advance. And the challenges of trying to get a full-size airfield in the UK just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, it's very difficult these days. Yeah.
With that lead time, and then with advent of the National Centre here at Buckminster, which continues to develop almost in every single visit, even for you and I that come regularly.
Yes, the team of volunteers are constantly working on projects, the current one being a new shower block, which they're doing a great job on. Right, I understand obviously there's been quite a lot of fundraising taking place, so what sort of fundraising have you been doing to help cover the costs?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of sort of sunk costs with it, although the entry fees come in and help offset, then we needed to have some money in the bank, and also prove that it was a viable proposition to the BMFA board. So we're really indebted to a good number of not just scale aeromodelers, clubmates of scale aeromodelers who have donated items to us, just engines, kits, bits and pieces that they no longer wanted, and then we've sold them via swap meets online. I'm very good at eBay parceling now.
I know we've had quite a few of the items come up as lots in our auctions recently, yeah.
Yeah, even last week there was a couple of more rare items
Yep.
that came up.
Excellent.
It also promotes the auction as well.
Well, that's very true, and as I said, there's been quite a few through the auction, picking up good money as well. So how many competitors and how many teams can we expect in July?
So it looks like being a record-breaking champs on every single level. The record entry currently is 76, which occurred in Romania 2 years ago. But normally it's been between 55 and 65 when it's just been the RC classes. The pre-entries we have are 117.
Excellent.
Now, normally there's a bit of drop-off from that. I always felt 100 was possible, and I would conservatively, you'll say 105 to 110.
That will be excellent, yeah.
We've got the highest number of juniors that have ever put in pre-entries.
Excellent, it's good to see the youth taking part.
Yeah, and then also we have 3 female competitors as well.
That's also excellent, brilliant.
And that's spanning probably around 22 to 24 countries when you then include the judges as well. So 22 competing nations, and then there's a couple of judges or jury who are from non-competing.
Right, so that's pretty much from all continents of the globe then?
Yeah, all 5.
With the exclusion of Antarctica, obviously.
Antarctica's really the only one that's missing.
So, yeah, they'll have to pull the fingers out and do something, won't they? So what types of models and what classes will be flown in July?
Yeah, so they're scale models. So for those of you that don't know, scale models are miniature replicas of a full-size example. There's 2 different judging aspects. So static, where the aircraft's judged and how well the competitor, the pilot, has reproduced it in miniature. So they have to provide a documentation pack that's got 3-view drawings, proof of colour, photos, etc. And then they've got to fly through a couple of compulsory manoeuvres and then 6 optional manoeuvres applicable to the aircraft type.
Excellent.
And then there's 3 classes. There's F4B, which is for control line models, F4C, which is the sort of premier class. That's where I call it in static, where you get up close and personal. It's not quite rivet counting as it was back in the 70s, but they're very highly detailed aircraft, which the majority of which will have been self-designed as well. And then F4H, so that's standoff, where the static assessment is done from a further distance, and there's more emphasis on flying.
Excellent. So something to look forward to. So what all the BMFA members are going to want to know is, will they be able to come along and spectate?
Yeah, they will be able to come along and spectate. The ticketing arrangements for that, we're advising everyone to pre-book, which means we can then anticipate how many people are coming on each day, and that will be via the Just Go ticketing platform.
That's brilliant. So we shall look forward to that, and announcements will no doubt be made. Yep. So I'd just like to thank Graham for joining me this morning here in the hangar at BMFA Buckminster for one of our first live streams, something we hope to be doing across the course of the championships in July, and also in the Scale Indoor Championships taking place next month in April. So thank you for joining us. Just before we go, we'll just run through a bit of a slideshow on some of the aircraft taking place this weekend.